And when disaster strikes, it's often in the most unexpected moments. And for many families, it can be one of the most difficult days of their lives. Well, that's where restoration professionals step in. Peter Kane is the owner of PuroClean of Newark, and he's here to talk about his journey from first responder to helping communities recover and rebuild across North Jersey. Good morning, Peter.
Good morning, Ken. Thank you for having me.
Good. Thank you. Good to have you on. Peter, talk about where were you a first responder and what did you used to do?
I used to work as a firefighter in the city of Orange, New Jersey.
Okay. So obviously seeing what just happened to the Port Authority guys, Port Authority are triple trained, right? They're firefighters, EMTs, and police trained for all three. And they were just doing their job on Sunday night when the incident occurred. I'm sure you took note of that. When you see things like that happening to people who do what you did, I'm sure that hits home.
Yeah, absolutely. And I have a lot of family and good friends who serve as first responders as well. Definitely hits home.
100%. Well, now with all that experience as a first responder, is that what led you to this kind of work?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, at PuroClean, we are known as the paramedics of property damage. So, for instance, last night I received a call for distress from a building manager that we provide services for at 3 o'clock in the morning, and a unit owner left a sink running and they flooded out 4 stories. So, being able to quickly dispatch my team and respond and triage and just basically put a plan together that says, hey, we've got this large scale disaster. How do we empathetically and compassionately respond, but also tactically respond in order to work as efficiently as possible to reach the desired outcome?
Yeah, and it's for those who don't realize a company like PuroClean, when there's a fire or a flood and you as the owner come in and you don't know where to start, everything is destroyed, everything looks awful. You're just at that point, you're at your lowest emotional point. A company like yours, you come in and you say, we got it. You bring in a team of people, you clean it up, you get rid of you prevent mold, right? You clean up anything that's broken, you take it out, and you make it a space again so that the owners can come back and say, "Oh my God, it's back to where it was," and you basically restore somebody's life.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, our goal when we're brought in is to what we call restore back to pre-loss condition. Whatever the property was prior to the event that caused the damage occurred, it's our goal to restore it back to. And you got to keep in mind when you're working in these properties, it's people's homes, kind of similar to a firefighter. A goal of the fire service is to preserve as much property as possible, not cause more damages than necessary. That's our goal as well. And also, too, a lot of the times we're dealing with people's photo albums after a fire, other sentimental items, kids' toys, maybe personal property that belonged to a deceased loved one. So just being able to delicately, meticulously, and compassionately deal with the customer and also deal with their home and their personal property. It's super important. I just think my time working in the fire service really gave me a great skill set to be able to translate to my team and just the way we deal with our customers.
Well, you'll appreciate this quick anecdotal story, Peter. I live part time in Fort Lauderdale in a condo complex, a high rise building, 21 stories. Somebody on the 10th floor decided they were going to do a bathroom remodel illegally without permits, without getting permission from the building, because you're supposed to have certified workers by the building. They're supposed to have insurance, etc. They thought they could do it on the sneak. So in comes a bathroom construction guy. You have to jackhammer a foot of concrete. As he was jackhammering it, he ripped open, of course, a water pipe. And every unit under became flooded. The guy didn't even know where the main was to turn off the water. So the water gushed for 40 minutes before they could turn off the main. So you can imagine that the amount of damage for 9 floors, every unit below was just deluged with water. But in came an organization like yours in South Florida, and in a matter of a couple of weeks, it was all new again. But that is, I think a lot of people don't realize that organizations like yours exist. So, but it's not there. There are some that are good, and then there are some that are great that have experience. So, how important are training and quick response times in what you do in your organization?
I would say they're very important. I mean, in terms of the training piece, the accrediting body is known as the IICRC. They certify, train, license restoration contractors. And the restoration industry is a trade, essentially, like carpentry, electricians, anything else. So we have two aspects to our business. We have the remediation side, which brings in our IICRC certified technician staff. And then we also have our general contracting team. They kind of operate in parallel. The remediation team comes in first, the construction team comes in after, but we're fully licensed general contractors. And as you mentioned, with the response time, it's imperative because to isolate and triage and quickly get damages under control, it can have exponential impact as to the extent of the damages, both on a fiscal perspective as well as just the time that it's going to take to get these properties restored. Um, so, time is the number one enemy in our world. The quicker we can get out there and get things done, the better. And just a quick tidbit that I would mention to any homeowners, anything else out there, like the situation Ken mentioned, know where your water shutoffs are, know where your gas shutoffs are, know where your electric shutoffs are, because when an emergency happens, you don't want to be scrambling and calling the fire department, calling a plumber. You want to be able to quickly isolate it, shut things down, because it's the difference between a small isolated one room incident and having to redo your whole home.
Yeah, in this case, it was 10 stories. It was quite expensive, as you can imagine. Thankfully, it got done. But now, insurance does handle remediation like yours from PuroClean. I'm assuming most of the time, correct? It all depends on the circumstance, so I guess.
Yeah. So insurance is designed to cover a sudden accidental peril. So, assuming that there's no specific exclusions in the policy, which more often than not there is, for instances like flood, unfortunately, you would need separate flood policies for that. Your typical homeowner's policy is going to cover for contractor negligence, like you mentioned, little Timmy flushing an action figure down the toilet and overflowing the toilet, to something as simple as a broken water heater flooding out a basement. So by working with a certified restoration firm such as PuroClean, we're able to work directly with your insurance company as well as you to provide a transparent billing process that ultimately makes sure that the work is done properly and that to help ensure that you have no out-of-pocket exposure outside of any fiscal responsibilities such as a deductible or a copay or something like that.
What's a website for more information, Peter?
You could go to puroclean.com/pn-nj to see our page. And
All right.
PuroClean has a
That's
plethora of resources for homeowners, property managers, insurance professionals. We're just here to be a wealth of knowledge to the community.
the people to call when most in need. PuroClean of Newark. There we go. Peter Kane, owner of PuroClean of Newark. Thanks for coming on this morning and thanks for doing what you do.
Thanks a lot, Ken. Have a nice day.